Chapter 3606. Ha! Bei Shuang made a move and challenged Wang Xian. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. All right. You have just broken through. Train yourself? I also want to see how strong the old monsters of the invincible domain are. Wang Xian did not reject. The punch from Tai Shui Demon King was indeed strong. It had definitely reached the standard of a universe lord. However, Bei Shuang's move had directly blocked it. Besides, Bei Shuang had just broken through. It was a good opportunity for her to train. He would let Tai Shui Demon King be the whetstone for his disciple. If Bei Shuang could not handle it, Wang Xian would kill her. Huh! This is... What a strong aura and freezing power! I heard that there's a lady in red from the Dragon Palace who also has the strength to kill a third-order universe lord instantly. Is she the one? This lady from the Dragon Palace is terrifying. But she seems to be different from the description on the universe AI. The dozen or so elves were shocked to see North Frost blocking the High Water Demon King's attack at close range. Is she the disciple of the Dragon King? The other expert from the Dragon Palace mentioned on the universe AI? Puny Demon King, how dare you act so presumptuously in front of our Dragon Palace? You're not qualified to challenge my master. You'll have to get past me first. Bei Shuang was excited to see Wang Xian nodding his head. She made a move and charged towards Tai Shui Demon King. Roar! Roar! At the same time, she raised her head and roared. She instantly transformed into a dazzling frost divine dragon. Under the illumination of the light, she was as beautiful as a diamond. But more than that, she was powerful and terrifying. Variant Divine Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon. Variant Divine Dragon! The elves were shocked to see the transformation of Frost Divine Dragon. A variant Divine Dragon was comparable to the royal family of the elves. This was the pinnacle of the pinnacle races. Ha! Frost Divine Dragon, Variant Divine Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon. There's a Variant Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace? Isn't there only the Dragon King and a lady in red from the Dragon Palace? The disciple of the Dragon King, a Frost Divine Dragon at the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm. Frost Divine Dragon is definitely a terrifying existence. When Bei Shuang rushed over, the group of old monsters from the invincible domain also had shocked expressions on their faces. Even some of the old monsters from the Peak clans had looks of envy in their eyes. When the Divine Dragon clan was at its peak, a variant Divine Dragon would definitely become an overlord. Dragon King's disciple? The Dragon Palace not only has the Dragon King and that lady in red, but also a powerful mutated Divine Dragon? The Dragon Palace's attack on the three major races was too far away, and the energy was too terrifying. Therefore, the news of the mutated Divine Dragon was not spread. Now that Bei Shuang had appeared, many experts and disciples who had come to watch the battle were shocked. The strength of the Dragon Palace was much more terrifying than they had imagined. The disciple of the Dragon King? You're courting death, little dragon brat. Are you looking down on me? Seeing a Frost Divine Dragon charging toward him, Demon Monarch Tai Shui's face darkened upon hearing her words, and he roared angrily. With a wave of his hand, an azure boxing glove appeared in his hand, and he stared at Bei Shuang with killing intent in his eyes. Mutant purebred Divine Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon, I'll kill you right now! The High Water Demon King moved and charged toward Bei Shuang with terrifying power. Roar! Bei Shuang transformed into a Frost Divine Dragon, freezing the seawater wherever she passed. The Frost Divine Dragon was also good at close combat. She swayed her huge body and clawed at the High Water Demon King with her dragon claws. The enlarged High Water Demon King was also hundreds of thousands of meters long. His fist and the dragon claws collided. Bam! With a loud explosion, Bei Shuang's figure was sent flying backward. However, at this moment she adjusted her body and swept toward the High Water Demon King with her dragon might. Boom! With a terrifying collision, the High Water Demon King's arms smashed into the dragon tail. This time, the High Water Demon King's body was sent flying backward. Ka ka ka! Bei Shuang's eyes were solemn. Without any hesitation, the surrounding water condensed into terrifying ice arrows and shot toward the high water demon king. Good, good, good. As expected of a mutated divine dragon. You're qualified to fight with me. Sensing the strength of Bei Shuang, the high water demon king's eyes were filled with violence. He roared, and the ice arrows that were rushing toward him turned into river water and counterattacked Bei Shuang. Nomological manifestation, freezing suffocation. Bei Shuang raised her head and spat out a dragon's breath. A misty white energy swept forward. Watch my fist! The high water demon king roared. His fist seemed to be surging with the sound of waves as it flew toward the freezing suffocation. Ka, ka, ka! The sound of explosions rang out. See explosion, explode for me! He roared again, and the surrounding river water surged as he attacked Bei Shuang. Freeze! Bei Shuang's eyes were solemn. An extremely cold aura emanated from her body, and the river water that was surging toward her was gradually frozen. Ha ha ha, high water's fury! The high water demon king laughed wildly. His body expanded again, and the frozen river water slowly cracked open. He charged toward Bei Shuang for the kill. This time, the attack was even more berserk. The river water surged along with his every move, carrying with it the might of the heavens. This guy is very strong. He's no weaker than Bailey Birdman. Bei Shuang is in trouble. At the front of the Dragon Palace, the Water Tentacle King narrowed his eyes as he watched the battle. No wonder he's a double mutated being. He's indeed terrifying. Wang Xian nodded in agreement. I didn't expect there to be such a powerful peak venerable in the universe. At the side, Ling Honggu also frowned slightly. She thought her strength should be invincible at this level. However, the appearance of the high water demon king surprised her. Bei Shuang's strength was no weaker than hers. In fact, she might even be slightly stronger. The Frost Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace is very strong. No wonder he's the high water demon king. With such strength, he can dominate a region in the invincible domain. He's too powerful. However, the Frost Divine Dragon isn't weak either. After all, it's a mutated purebred divine dragon. Since the Dragon King's disciple is so strong, wouldn't he be even stronger? The Frost Divine Dragon's combat skills are a little immature. She probably hasn't participated in many battles. Her control of the battle is much weaker. If she can't show her dominance, I'm afraid she won't be a match for the High Water Demon King. In the surroundings, the experts of the invincible domain stared at the battlefield, their eyes filled with excitement. It was rare to see such a battle between experts. They might be able to learn something from it. Chapter 3607. It was that Frost Divine Dragon. What was going on? What was going on? How did that Frost Divine Dragon make a breakthrough? How could he possess such terrifying strength? At this moment, in front of the Heaven Everlasting River, Demon King Tai Shui was the first to challenge the Dragon King, pinning him down. If they rushed over again, that expert called Old Scholar would be able to pin down another one. In the end, the horrifying Black Tower Sorcerer joined them in attacking the other experts of the Dragon Palace. With the number of Third-Order Sovereigns and the existence of the Black Tower, it wasn't difficult for them to breach the Dragon Palace. But what was going on now? A Frost Divine Dragon clashed with Demon King Tai Shui. What was going on? They knew about the Frost Divine Dragon. They had already seen the Holy Dragon King. But what was going on? The Frost Divine Dragon had broken through. This time, it was troublesome. Oh no, this is going to be troublesome. Damn it, how could this be? The Sacred Dragon King bellowed in a low voice with an unusually ugly expression. His expression was as dark as blood. Why is the Dragon Palace getting stronger every time? Why? The new clan leader of the Light Insect Clan was on the verge of collapse. They were 100% sure that they could destroy the Dragon Palace, but in the end, another expert came from the Dragon Palace? How were they supposed to live? How could the Dragon Palace be so powerful? That Frost Divine Dragon has just made a breakthrough. He's no match for Tai Shui Demon King. If they really fight, Tai Shui Demon King will be able to kill him. The green pupils of the Black Tower Magus stared ahead as he spoke. In our plan, there were only 2 experts of this level in Dragon Palace. Now that one has suddenly appeared, the face of the head of the God Shepherd clan was as dark as blood. Their Shepherd God tribe's foundation had almost been destroyed by the Dragon Palace. Just when they were about to destroy the Dragon Palace, another powerhouse had appeared. So be it. Tai Shui Demon King will kill this Frost Divine Dragon, I'll kill that Dragon King, and Black Tower, you'll kill that red-robed woman. Isn't that enough? Very simple. The old scholar's gaze swept across the sacred Dragon King and the rest as he spoke calmly. Sir Old Scholar, the Dragon King of Dragon Palace and the rest are very strong. I'm afraid it will be difficult for a battle of your level to determine a victor. The Giant of Light Patriarch looked at him and said with an ugly expression. What's so difficult about that? Didn't the third prince give him a space-sealing treasure? We will seal off this space and fight to the death. In a life-and-death battle, the ones who will die will definitely be them, the old scholar said nonchalantly. Before I came here, I have already said that I will not attack the experts of Dragon Palace together with others. It will be one-on-one. Since there are 3 of them, I will also exercise a little. Old Scholar, if you choose Dragon King, leave the last one to me. The Black Tower Magus calmly said. No problem. The old scholar glanced at Demon King Tai Shui and murmured. You really haven't made any progress since the last time. Oh? Old scholar, I'm very curious. Who won last time? The Black Tower Magus looked at him curiously. He has a very powerful trump card, so I don't dare to kill him, the old scholar said calmly. The Black Tower Magus smiled and said nothing more. Were these the old monsters of the invincible domain? The expressions of the Holy Dragon King and the others changed as they listened to the conversation between the Black Tower Magus and the old scholar. They would not attack together, but only accept one-on-one. In this universe where the strong preyed on the weak, anyone who had such a view was either a lunatic or an extremely conceited person. They took a deep breath and looked at the 2 of them. I will go first. Black Tower Magus, break the array as soon as possible. I can sense that the array of the Dragon Palace is not weak. The old scholar said to the Black Tower Magus. It is indeed not weak. Break the array in 1 minute. The green eyes of the Black Tower Magus once again looked in the direction of the Dragon Palace. Whoosh! As soon as the Black Tower Magus finished his sentence, the old scholar flew in the direction of the Dragon Palace. Demon King Tai Shui, I have already said that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is mine. It seems that it is still mine. I am the old scholar of the invincible domain, and I lack a dragon throne made of dragon bones. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, come. A carefree voice came from the old scholar. At the same time, it resounded in the sky above the eternal sky river. A voice suddenly rang out, and a terrifying aura suddenly erupted from the old scholar, causing all the surrounding experts to reveal expressions of shock. Old scholar? The old scholar of the invincible domain? The demon-faced old scholar is here too? What's going on? The old scholar is here too. What's going on? Is he going to challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Another expert from the invincible domain. Why are they here to challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Is it because of the strength of the Dragon King? Hundreds of experts from the invincible domain were shocked when they saw the sudden appearance of the old scholar. In the invincible domain, there were not many experts who could match up to Demon King Tai Shui and the old scholar. The appearance of the 2 at the same time made them feel strange. Her? Old scholar, this is an expert who is no weaker than Demon King Tai Shui. Beside the Dragon Palace, a dozen elves looked forward when they heard the voice. When they saw the old scholar, their eyes flickered. Her? Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he heard the exclamations around him. Another expert from the invincible domain has come? That's strange. Dragon King, it's a little strange. Why are there 2 experts from the invincible domain challenging you? There must be something fishy. Prime Minister Turtle couldn't help but speculate when he saw another old monster from the invincible domain. Wang Xian nodded his head. Wang Xian, let me do it. You stay at the back. Ling Honggu moved a little and said to Wang Xian, All right, be careful. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before nodding his head. If this matter wasn't so strange, Wang Xian would have done it himself. However, it was still reasonable for Demon King Tai Shui to challenge him. After all, Demon King Tai Shui wanted to challenge him a year ago. But now, someone called the old scholar popped up. Was this a coincidence or something else? Wang Xian's dragon eyes flickered as he looked in the direction where the old scholar was flying from. He could vaguely feel someone looking at him. However, he didn't take it to heart just now because there were many experts looking at the Dragon Palace. There were at least a few hundred of them, and each of them was terrifying. These were all experts from the invincible domain. Therefore, he didn't take it to heart. Now it seemed, the experts from the invincible domain are related to the Angel Clan and the Sacred Dragon bloodline? He murmured. Experts from the invincible domain, let me have a taste of your strength. I'd like to see what you old monsters are capable of. At this moment, Ling Honggu, who was dressed in a red dress, stood beside him. She was like a ravishing beauty who had walked out of the river of time. With a graceful and terrifying energy, she attacked the old scholar directly. Chapter 3608. Is this the powerful red-clothed woman mentioned by the Universe AI? It's him. The old scholar suddenly appeared, but the Dragon King still hasn't made a move. The Dragon Palace still has experts. The Dragon Palace is indeed terrifying. To be able to produce two people who can fight against the High Water Demon King and the old scholar. No wonder the subsidiary races of the Angel Clan were beaten up. The old scholar's appearance surprised everyone. Ling Honggu's attack did not shock them too much. This was because he was an expert of the Dragon Palace on the surface. They were curious about how powerful this woman in red was. What I want is dragon bones, not a pink skeleton. When the old scholar saw Ling Honggu, half of his face slowly turned sinister as he spoke. Humph! A cultivator of the sage bloodline who hasn't broken through after so long must be a wastrel with bad intentions. So that's the case. With such a temperament, he still wants to break through? Ling Honggu snorted coldly and said disdainfully when he heard his words. The sage bloodline, the bloodline of the peak races. The old scholar's temperament could be seen at a glance. You're courting death. I'm going to peel off your skin, pull out your bones, and make a pink skeleton to hang on the wall. His words caused the half of the old scholar's malevolent face to become even more malevolent. One of his eyes roared madly. He held the wings made of angel wings in his hand and gently waved them. A terrifying golden glow appeared and condensed into words that blasted at Ling Honggu. The sage bloodline could kill demons with a single word. A painting could trap mountains, rivers, and rivers. A song could transform countless living beings. This was the attack method of the sage bloodline. As for the fan made of angel wings in his hand, it was merely a decoration. The cultivation method of the sage bloodline was somewhat similar to the array formation sorcerers, but at the same time different. Their attack methods were equally unpredictable and powerful. Every word and action was a terrifying attack. Bam, bam, bam! Ling Honggu waved her skirt when she saw the old scholar's attack. Waves of blood-red flames shot toward the golden words. The old scholar was a metal elemental expert. Metal master killing. Bam, bam, bam! The blood-red sea of flames burned the words. However, the golden words seemed to contain a terrifying power and did not immediately dissipate in the flames. They continued to attack Ling Honggu until they were 100 kilometers away from him. Only then did they slowly disappear. Ling Honggu frowned slightly when he saw this. The opponent's strength was very strong, not any weaker than Tai Shui Demon King. He even had to be more careful with his attacks. Book Mountain, suppress! When the old scholar saw that his attack had been blocked, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. He waved the fan in his hand and drew a golden book in front of him. More and more books appeared, condensing into the shape of a mountain, directly attacking Ling Honggu. Burn the book! Ling Honggu saw the flame on his glabella pulsating. A wisp of flame flew towards the golden book mountain. Boom! Arriving in the sky above the book mountain, terrifying flames instantly erupted, enveloping the entire book mountain. At this moment, a scene similar to the battle between the archangel and the astral behemoth appeared. The water of the eternal river of heaven stopped flowing. The entire eternal heaven river seemed to have sensed the immense terror, and the water no longer fell from the sky. So powerful! Are these the experts of the invincible domain? They're really strong! Oh my, these old monsters are comparable to the archangel who fought here last time. They're too terrifying! The experts of the Dragon Palace are also terrifying. Be it the Frost Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace or this Lord Red Shirt, they are equally powerful. When the experts and disciples of the chaotic continent saw this, they could not extricate themselves from the shock. This battle felt no different from a battle between experts of the Universe Lord Realm. Huh! However, at this moment, in the battlefield between Ling Honggu and the Old Scholar, the flames were burning the Golden Book Mountain, but they could not completely burn it in a short time. Ling Honggu waved his arm, and blood-colored energy poured onto the Book Mountain. The flames grew stronger, and finally, the Book Mountain was completely burned. Hee, such strength, but you're still a little weaker than that Frost Divine Dragon. I can kill you in 10 minutes. The Old Scholar stared at Ling Honggu and said calmly, I want to kill you in 5 minutes. However, just as the Old Scholar finished speaking, the hideous half of his face suddenly opened its mouth. The next moment, a terrifying scene appeared. The other half of his face seemed like it was about to be torn apart, and it began to break free from the head. Gradually, the Old Scholar's body was torn into two. One looked hideous, while the other looked benevolent and benevolent. He, I want you to die, paradise of death! The hideous Old Scholar's body slowly healed, and he became a complete human. He took out a golden paintbrush and drew in front of him. Huh! Ling Honggu's eyebrows twitched when she saw this strange scene. Crimson, broken bones! She waved the hem of her skirt, and terrifying blood-red bones appeared behind her, attacking that incomparably malevolent Old Scholar. Golden spears and armored horses! The benevolent Old Scholar also took out a paintbrush and waved his arm. The golden armored horses seemed to come to life, and they charged toward the blood-red flaming bones. Bam, bam, bam! The sound of bones colliding could be heard continuously. Ling Honggu frowned when she saw this scene. Paradise of death, complete! Ha! On the other side, the hideous Old Scholar roared. Ling Honggu instantly sensed that the space around her was changing. She was in a battlefield, and she was surrounded by golden humans and war horses. They were all filled with savagery. They were boundless, and they were attacking her crazily. How can the old monsters of the invincible domain be so strong? I'm still lacking, and my experience is still lacking. Ling Honggu swallowed her saliva. Compared to the old monsters who had experienced countless life and death battles in the invincible domain, she was still too inexperienced. Her strength was still lacking. That woman in red is no match for the Old Scholar. The ghastly scholar was very terrifying in the past. The battle is exciting, and our trip here was not in vain. The experts of the Dragon Palace are very powerful, but they are still lacking in experience, be it the woman in red or the Frost Divine Dragon. That Frost Divine Dragon is gradually falling into a disadvantageous position. After all, the Old Scholar and the High Water Demon King have insane battle experience, and have lived for another 10 to 20 billion years. The battle had been going on for a few minutes, and Ling Honggu and the Old Scholar had been fighting for a minute. The surrounding experts of the invincible domain were commenting. As for the experts and disciples who came from the surroundings, they were all dumbfounded. They were too strong. All right, the array formation can be broken. At this moment, the Black Tower Sorcerer, who was in front of the Heaven Eternal River, said indifferently, Chapter 3609. It's done! They broke the Dragon Palace's array formation so quickly? Isn't that too terrifying? Lord Old Scholar said he could destroy the red-robed lady in the Dragon Palace in 5 minutes. Is that true? The Frost Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace is already at a disadvantage. TSK, the 3 lords are too terrifying. The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd God's tribe leader, and the others were shocked when they heard the words of the Black Tower Sorcerer. The Black Tower Sorcerer, High Water Demon King, and the Old Scholar were too terrifying. They could not understand why such experts had not broken through to the Universe Lord realm yet. Let's go and completely seal off the Dragon Palace. The Old Scholar and High Water Demon King can kill the Frost Divine Dragon and the Red-Robed Lady. The Dragon Palace can be destroyed. The Black Tower Sorcerer said calmly. Yes, Lord Black Tower Sorcerer. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is also very powerful. The Sacred Dragon King and the others said excitedly. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Leave it to me. I'll kill him. The Black Tower Sorcerer said calmly, not taking the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace seriously. The Black Tower Sorcerer was confident that he was stronger than High Water Demon King and the Old Scholar. As he spoke, he flew straight ahead. The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd God's tribe leader, and more than 70 experts followed behind him excitedly. Old Scholar, High Water Demon King, you two keep fighting. I'll be the one to destroy the Dragon King in the end, the Black Tower Sorcerer said with a smile as he flew forward. His calm voice resounded across the sky above the Sky Eternal River. At the same time, he flew calmly toward the Dragon Palace. He was surrounded by energy and easily withstood the aftermath of the battle between North Frost and High Water Demon King, as well as the Old Scholar and Ling Honggu. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, today is the day you die. You killed the disciples of the Shepherd God's tribe. Today, I'll make you suffer a fate worse than death. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, today is the day you die. Our light insect tribe will torture all your disciples for billions of years. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, die? I'll make you pay 100, 1,000, 10,000 times for killing the experts of the Giant of Light. The sudden appearance of the Black Tower Magi did not wait for anyone to react. Behind them were the Holy Dragon King, the leader of the Giant of Light tribe, the leader of the Shepherd tribe, the new leader of the Light Insect tribe, the leader of the Black Fog Spirit tribe, and the leader of the Ghoul tribe. They led over 60 Third-Order sovereigns as they flew over, their bodies brimming with killing intent. A terrifying killing intent soared into the sky, and the entire Tianheng River instantly darkened. Even the space was slightly distorted, and the atmosphere instantly became incomparably solid. The killing intent of 71 Third-Order sovereigns condensed into a terrifying river. It was as if it wanted to destroy everything. What's going on? Who is the figure that suddenly appeared? Why is he so familiar with Taishui Demon King and the Old Scholar? And what's with the 70-plus experts that suddenly appeared behind him? That figure, that green eye, it's a Magus from the Black Tower. It's a Magus from the Invincible Zone. What's going on? The sorcerers of the Black Tower have appeared, and the top 3 experts of the Invincible Domain have suddenly gathered at the Dragon Palace. Are they going to destroy the Dragon Palace? This was premeditated. Taishui Demon King and the rest were invited here. Following the roars of the Holy Dragon King and the rest, the experts of the Invincible Domain were shocked when they saw the Magus from the Black Tower. Another top expert of the Invincible Domain. Their gathering was not as simple as challenging the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. They were here to destroy the Dragon Palace. The Holy Dragon Bloodline, Shepherd God Tribe, and the rest. Aren't they subordinate to your Angel Tribe? Looks like Taishui Demon King and the rest were invited by your Angel Tribe to destroy the Dragon Palace. At a corner of the Tianheng River, a few old monsters from the God Tiger Tribe looked at the group of old monsters from the Angel Tribe and spoke. We don't know either. The group of old monsters from the Angel Tribe shook their heads. Although they were disciples of the Angel Tribe, they had not reached the universe's sovereign realm. They had no right to participate in the matters of the angel tribe. Interesting. This can be considered a one-on-one battle. The old monster from the god tiger tribe murmured as he looked on. Even the Black Tower Magi are here. Looks like the Dragon Palace is going to be destroyed. If the Dragon Palace doesn't have a trump card, it's probably over. The Black Tower Magi are among the top 3 in the invincible domain. In other places, some experts commented when they saw the Black Tower Magi. They did not expect that Tai Shui Demon King's challenge to the Dragon King on the AI was not just a simple challenge. He was invited by the Angel Tribe to destroy the Dragon Palace. What? What's going on? Were all these experts invited by the Holy Dragon Bloodline? The Holy Dragon Bloodline and the rest of the 6 major races don't have such strength. It must be the intervention of the Angel Tribe. Another expert has appeared. Is the Dragon Palace doomed? It must be the intervention of the Angel Tribe. It seems like the Angel Tribe is determined to destroy the Dragon Palace. If the Angel Tribe wants to destroy them, how can the Dragon Palace resist? Tisk, I'm afraid the Dragon Palace is doomed today. The disciples of the surrounding experts were shocked when they saw another super expert from the invincible domain appear. Another super horrifying expert had appeared. Oh no, Dragon King. You guys are in trouble. The Black Tower Magi is a horrifying sorcerer who specializes in arrays and curses. His body has also been modified. He's definitely a horrifying existence. At this time, a dozen elves in front of the Dragon Palace saw the Black Tower Magi. They narrowed their eyes and spoke. The Black Tower Magi were here too. And the 70-odd experts behind them. Clearly, they were here to destroy the Dragon Palace. Dragon King, we can't interfere in your feud. The dozen elves said to Wang Xian that they couldn't interfere in this matter. Hee, it's indeed the Angel Tribe. It's indeed one of the 6 major races. However, when they looked at Wang Xian, they saw that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace was not worried at all. Instead, he was laughing. What the hell is this? But why is the Angel Tribe looking down on me this time? Why did they only find 3 old fogies from the invincible domain? Wang Xian continued murmuring. The dozen elves opened their mouths slightly when they heard him. What does the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace mean? A bunch of lackeys of the Angel Tribe. They've been torturing you guys since the beginning. Now, they're still unwilling to give up. They even asked your master to find 3 old fogies. Just these 3? Is there anyone else? Get up and stop wasting time. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the Black Tower Magi and fixed it on the Holy Dragon King and the rest of the experts. Chapter 36:10. Her? Wang Xian's words stunned everyone. Be it the Black Tower sorcerers or the experts from the invincible domain, they were all taken aback. So arrogant? So arrogant? More trump cards? The Sacred Dragon King and the rest were also taken aback. Their pupils constricted as they looked around the Dragon Palace and fixed their eyes on the elves. This was their territory. The elves could not participate in the war between them. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? How arrogant! I'd like to ask if the Dragon Palace still has more trump cards and experts at the level of the mutated Divine Dragon. The Black Tower sorcerer stared at Wang Xian and took out a compass. There were only 6 red dots on the compass. He glanced at them indifferently and smiled. No, I've shown them all. What about you guys? Wang Xian smiled and answered truthfully. We're out too. I'm the last one, so you guys are going to be annihilated. The Black Tower sorcerer stared at Wang Xian with his green eyes before turning to the dozen elves. The elves can't participate in our war, right? Of course. The dozen or so fairy experts nodded their heads. They couldn't participate even if they used the excuse of being guests in the Dragon Palace and not disturbing them. Because there were old monsters from the Angel Tribe around, they could participate. But the old monsters from the Angel Tribe would participate too. Dragon King, take care. If you can't do it, just escape to the elves' territory. they said to Wang Xian before flying to the side. Rest assured. Wang Xian gestured to them with a smile on his face. How could he not be happy when someone came to send resources to the Dragon Palace? The experts from the invincible domain were indeed strong. But if there were only 3, then none of them would be able to leave. Even if there were 4, none of them would be able to leave. But if there were 5, then they could. Because Wang Xian could only fight 3 at most. This was his limit. The strength of Tai Shui Demon King and the old scholar had indeed exceeded his expectations. But not long ago, Wang Xian's strength had increased again with the addition of the dark ghost doppelganger. Therefore, he wasn't flustered at all. Are you confident? As the Black Tower Magus spoke, he approached the Dragon Palace. The Holy Dragon King, the Shepherd God Tribe leader, and the others followed behind. The formation of your Dragon Palace is indeed very strong. It seems that you have quite a number of formation sorcerers at the peak of the universe venerable realm. If this formation were to be fully activated, even Demon King Tai Shui would not be able to withstand it. Unfortunately, you've encountered the sorcerers of my Black Tower. So, your trump card is useless. The sorcerer from the Black Tower stared at Wang Xian and smiled. But when paired with his green pupils, his smile gave off a sinister feeling. What? Wang Xian didn't hear any changes in his words. However, the expressions of Tianjin and the few dragon shamans changed drastically. They were dragon shamans, sorcerers who specialized in spell formations. How could the sorcerer from the Black Tower say that their spell formations were useless? How is this possible? The magic array we set up actually failed? When did the other party break it? A dragon which sensed it and could not help but exclaim in shock. As the Dragon Palace's peak, which dragon at the peak of the venerable realm, they didn't even know that their array formation had been broken. The other party's methods shocked them. The other party's mastery of the array formation also shocked them. Even Tianjin's face was filled with a solemn expression. This sorcerer from the Black Tower was terrifying. He was no match for him. Huh! The array formation of the Dragon Palace can withstand an expert at the level of Demon King Tai Shui. Sacred Dragon King and the rest followed behind. When they heard the words of the sorcerer from the Black Tower, they were shocked and excited. They were shocked at the power of the array formation of the Dragon Palace, but excited at the terror of the sorcerer from the Black Tower. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace must be so confident because of the array formation of the Dragon Palace. That was why he dared to be so arrogant. Now that the array formation had disappeared and the sorcerer from the Black Tower was so terrifying, the Dragon Palace could only wait to die. Malevolent expressions appeared on their faces. The experts and disciples of their tribes were killed. They would capture all non-purebred divine dragons in the Dragon Palace and torture them incessantly. They would torture them for tens of millions of years, even hundreds of millions of years, to pay tribute to the experts and disciples of their tribes. Among the old magi in the invincible region, in terms of spell formations, other than that crazy old witch, the Magus of the Black Tower is the strongest. Unless the witch ancestor comes, even the disciples and disciples of the witch ancestor are no match for an old monster like him. The sorcerer from the Black Tower is really terrifying. He destroyed the array formation of the Dragon Palace while hiding in the dark. The array formation of the Dragon Palace should be one of their trump cards. Now that it's gone, they're probably done for. Some of the old monsters from the invincible domain discussed and evaluated. The battle begins. Forbidden space, seal, open new space. The sorcerer from the Black Tower was still smiling as he spoke. With a wave of his palm, a ball flew out. This was a sealing treasure given to them by the third prince. Even the sorcerer from the Black Tower was slightly envious. Unfortunately, the third prince had placed a restriction on it. They could only use it once. This treasure was a connate cardinal treasure that could seal off the space. After the new space was opened, they had to control this connate cardinal treasure in order to close it. Of course, there was another way, which was to forcefully break it open. If they forcefully broke it open, a dozen third-order universe sovereigns could do it. However, they would need to attack continuously for dozens of seconds. Obviously, they wouldn't give the Dragon Palace the chance to do so. Usually, the supporting Khanate cardinal treasures were extremely powerful. If the third prince were to control the Khanate cardinal treasure to open the new space, even a true universe sovereign would not be able to open it. The power of the Khanate cardinal treasure was related to the strength of the user. Damn it! They are going to use a powerful treasure to seal off this space. We can't see anything. A challenge has turned into a genocide. Naturally, the sorcerer from the Black Tower will seal off the entire space. It's a pity that we won't be able to see anything. What a bummer. I was expecting to see a battle between the top experts. Now, we can't see anything. When the sorcerer from the Black Tower took out the Khanate cardinal treasure to seal off the space, the surrounding old monsters from the invincible domain shook their heads helplessly. Naturally, they couldn't let the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace escape. It was normal to seal off the space. But to them, it was too much of a pity. They hadn't seen much of this battle. If it was a life-and-death battle, they could still see some powerful combat abilities and techniques. But now, they couldn't see anything. Oh? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the other party sealing off the space. Great, he liked it. A bunch of guys came from afar to send themselves to death. They even added a door to prevent him from escaping. Hee hee. Good people. Chapter 36:11 Buzz Buzz Buzz. A space enveloped the entire eternal river of heaven within a radius of 2 billion kilometers. The entire Dragon Palace was completely surrounded. Even High Water Demon King, North Frost, the Old Scholar, and Ling Honggu, who were fighting on the side, paused for a moment and looked over. The entire Dragon Palace was sealed. Ha ha ha, Dragon King of Dragon Palace, let's see how you escape now. With the 3 lords of invincible domain here, prepare to die. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, I want you to see your disciple killed and your experts die. When the Khanate cardinal treasure completely enveloped the Dragon Palace, Holy Dragon King and the others cheered excitedly. How could they not be excited? Ever since the sacred dragon lineage was prepared to deal with the Dragon Palace, they had suffered setbacks at every turn. One by one, the sacred dragon lineage experts were killed by the Dragon Palace. It was even more so for the shepherds and the giants of light. Originally, the 6 major races assisted the sacred dragon lineage, but in the end, the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race was directly annihilated by the Dragon Palace. As for the other 5 great races, all the elite disciples of the Shepherd God race had been killed. The Giant of Light and the Light Insect race were even worse off. Only a few of their experts were left. It was incomparably tragic. Now, it was time for them to take revenge. Humph, you want to destroy our Dragon Palace with just you? The experts of Dragon Palace stared at them with cold eyes. We alone are enough. The Black Tower sorcerer swept his gaze over the experts of the Dragon Palace with a mocking look on his face. High Water Fiend King, Old Scholar, finish them off as soon as possible. Don't let any accidents happen. He looked at the Taishui Demon King and the Old Scholar as he spoke indifferently. TSK, TSK. I don't want that Dragon King. I prefer Frost Divine Dragons and Variant Divine Dragons. Lord Highwater's eyes shone with excitement as he stared at Bei Shuang like a hunter. I still have 4 minutes. The 2 old scholars floated in the air as they spoke. All right, let's do it. The sorcerer from the Black Tower said coldly as he locked his gaze on Wang Xian. Come on, one-on-one. Let me see the strength of the Dragon King. Ha ha, good, good. When Wang Xian saw the confident looks on the faces of the sorcerers from the Black Tower, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. The Saint Wings of No Beginning appeared directly behind him. On his clothes, 2 divine dragons of light and darkness slowly appeared like an ink painting. Today, I'm here to learn from the old monsters of the invincible realm. Speaking of which, I'm curious to see what makes you think you're invincible. Wang Xian chuckled as he flew up into the sky. His eyes gradually turned sinister. Invincible domain is just a name for a domain. No one dares to call themselves invincible, and no one can be invincible. I can't be invincible, but it's enough to kill you, the Black Tower Magus said indifferently. Haha, to put it bluntly, all of you are just a bunch of trash who have been unable to break through for a long time. Naturally, none of you dare to claim to be invincible, because all of you are still not qualified. Wang Xian flapped his wings slightly. You bunch of trash might not dare to, but I dare. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged towards the Black Tower Magus at a terrifying speed. His speed was terrifying. As Wang Xian flew back and forth, he did not bring out his 5 elements grindstone or his companion spirits. Similarly, he did not even bring out his dark ghost doppelganger. Just like that, he charged towards the Black Tower Magus with the speed of a First-Order Universe Sovereign. Arrogant. Anger flashed in the eyes of the Black Tower Magus when he heard Wang Xian. He moved his palm, and 5 black fingers appeared out of thin air around Wang Xian, blasting towards him. What a fast speed! It's almost done in an instant. Seeing the Black Tower Magus making a move, Sky Formation's face turned grave. This Black Tower Magus was a huge blow to Sky Formation and the Dragon Sorcerers. Haha, prepare your harvest. Our Dragon King's Tai Chi Dragon Plate has broken through, and they are here to deliver resources. Sky Formation, you and the Dragon Sorcerers quickly set up the array. Don't let them escape later. The Water Tentacle King said to Sky Formation with a smile. His eyes were not on Wang Xian and the rest, but on Tai Shui Demon King. If I eat this guy, I should be able to recover completely. The energy in this guy is so dense. Even after such a huge accumulation, he still hasn't broken through. What a waste, what a waste! She mumbled to herself, and her eyes were burning with passion. Yes, she was already considering devouring Tai Shui Demon King. Because the Water Tentacle King knew how terrifying Wang Xian was. This bunch of guys was just a dish to him. Around them, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest also smiled, without a hint of worry on their faces. Her? Those guys from the Dragon Palace are so calm? Patriarch, should we act now? No need. As long as the 3 lords from the Invincible Domain killed the Dragon King and the rest of the experts from the Dragon Palace won't amount to much. Seeing that the Black Tower Magus was about to collide with the Dragon King, Sacred Dragon King and the rest spoke up. They were not in a hurry to strike. The key to victory today was still with the 3 experts from the Invincible Domain. Boom! At this moment, the 5 enormous fingers of the Black Tower Magus struck towards Wang Xian. The terrifying aura wasn't any weaker than the Tai Shui Demon King and the Old Scholar. The 5 fingers smashed heavily towards Wang Xian. Her? However, when the 5 fingers landed on Wang Xian, the Black Tower Magus didn't see any resistance. The attack landed directly on him. But at this moment, the Black Tower Magus sensed a horrifying energy attacking him. This energy made him feel as if his own attack had landed on his body. Pfft! Caught off guard, he spat out a mouthful of blood. That's it. Trash will always be trash. At this moment, a disdainful voice was heard. He saw the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace passing through his attack easily and coming to a distance of 10,000 meters in front of him. The distance between them was already very, very close. If that's it, then die. At this moment, Wang Xian suddenly accelerated. In an instant, he was only a few meters away from the Black Tower Magus. The Black Tower Magus' expression changed slightly. Under his incomparably black sorcerer robe, claws suddenly appeared. Every claw looked horrifying and hideous as they clawed towards Wang Xian's body. You're courting death. His eyes were filled with malevolence, and he didn't look as calm as before. Wang Xian's strength had completely exceeded his expectations. However, as an old monster who had lived for a very long time, the Black Tower Magus was no longer an ordinary sorcerer. Ordinary sorcerers were either experts in the Tao of Arrays, Tao of Physical Body Transformation, or Tao of Uncanny. As for the Black Tower Magus, because of his long life, he didn't have any flaws. He was good at everything. Chapter 36:12. Ferocious claws flew out from his chest. His body had gone through a terrifying transformation. These claws were the claws of the devil. The claws of the devil were fused with the claws of the giant cosmic beast and transplanted into his own body. They possessed horrifying attacks. At such a close distance, Jian Yun had no time to react to the horrifying claws. And he did not make any attempts to resist. Instead, he took the initiative to face it. Around him, the Tai Chi dragon coils slowly solidified and rotated. This move of the Black Tower sorcerer was still forcefully resisted. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The densely packed hideous claws made a strange sound. This was the weirdness of a sorcerer. Bam, bam, bam. However, when the attacks of these claws landed on Wang Xian's body, he felt his speed slowing down. Following that, the densely packed claws seemed to have encountered a great terror. The incomparably pitch-black claws actually slowly shriveled up and began to slowly break apart. Arg! The pain spread to the Black Tower sorcerer, and he could not help but let out a blood-curdling scream. His attack was still unable to break the defense of the Tai Chi dragon coil. As for the backlash of the Tai Chi dragon coil, it directly affected him. Invincible defense. I'm invincible. Seeing this scene, Wang Xian revealed a smile. Unless 3 or 4 Black Tower sorcerers attacked him at the same time, he would not be able to break the defense of the Tai Chi dragon coil alone. This was the horror of the Tai Chi dragon coil. I'm invincible. So you have to die. Wang Xian stared at him and said sarcastically. At such a close distance, he instantly appeared in front of the Black Tower sorcerer, and raised his right arm. On his right arm, the light divine dragon of the Tai Chi dragon coil wrapped around him and punched towards him. This punch was comparable to the light divine dragon of a first-order universe lord. In short, it was the power of one dragon. Bam! At such a close distance, the Black Tower sorcerer, who was already suffering from the backlash, could not resist at all. His head directly exploded, turning into strange insect-like creatures. But the attack was not over. The impact of the light divine dragon coil was not over. These strange insects died instantly. The Black Tower sorcerer was killed instantly. However, Wang Xian could still sense a transfer of energy. This was a life-saving treasure. Thinking about it, a terrifying expert from the invincible domain would definitely have some life-saving treasures. What? What? How is this possible? Right at this moment, the sacred Dragon King and the rest of the Shepherd God's tribe leader were shocked when they saw this scene from the back. What the hell was going on? Awesome! A sorcerer from the Black Tower who could break the Dragon Palace's formation from a distance. A top-notch expert of the invincible domain. Instantly killed by the Dragon King. One move, just one move. Flying over then with a single punch, kill. In the middle, the Black Tower Magi tried to block twice, but were ignored by the Dragon King. All of this happened in an instant. Just like that, the incomparably confident Black Tower Magus was gone. Gone. The contrast was too great. This was too terrifying. Impossible! Impossible! The Dragon Palace's Dragon King can't be that strong. This... The sacred Dragon King and the others were on the verge of breaking down. They were horrified. That was impossible. What? At the side, Taishui Demon King and the old scholar had yet to fight with North Frost Spirit and Red Bone. They still wanted to see the strength of the Dragon King. They didn't need to see too much. Just one move would be enough to understand the situation. But the Black Tower Magus was instantly killed with one move? Even though the old scholar and Taishui Demon King had not been summoned for a long time, they knew that the Black Tower Magus was definitely a terrifying guy. If he had set up the formation in advance, they wouldn't be a match for the Black Tower Magus. They might even be killed. But the Black Tower Magus couldn't even withstand one move from the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. The first life is gone, but there's still a second. But at this moment, Wang Xian's voice sounded. His body moved and without hesitation, he flew to the right. His speed was still as terrifying as before. Over there, the Black Tower Magus appeared eerily. In terms of aura, there wasn't much difference from before. No, how can you be so strong? How can your defense be so strong? At this moment, the Black Tower Magus was horrified to see Wang Xian locking onto him instantly. He stared at Wang Xian in horror. How could this be? He was a top-notch expert in the invincible domain. He even dared to touch the real universe dominator. What kind of demon was this Dragon Palace's Dragon King? How many lives do you have? Wang Xian stared at him and asked sarcastically. He came to the front of the Black Tower Magus. The Black Tower Magus's green eyes widened gradually. His creepy green eyes almost shot out. Flame of life, extinguish! His two green eyes really flew out. The green light was burning eerily. This was the karmic fire of life. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the Black Tower Magus sacrificing two eyes to release an attack. 1. In front of him, the Tai Chi dragon plate spun. The light divine dragon and darkness divine dragon intertwined. A heavy aura came from the Tai Chi dragon plate. The Black Tower Magus's two attacks landed on the Tai Chi dragon plate. Flames bloomed instantly. But the Tai Chi dragon plate spun. Light and darkness quickly extinguished the green flames. The flames began to shrink and shrink. Ah! At this moment, the cries of the Black Tower Magus were heard. The backlash had begun. He seemed to be suffering from a horrifying curse as his body began to crumble. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a smile. He flew over and gave a light punch. Obliteration fist. The Black Tower Magus's second life was gone in an instant. But Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and revealed a surprised look. He still had a life-saving treasure. You sure have a lot of lives. Wang Xian looked in a direction. He moved and continued to fly. In that direction, the Black Tower Magus's body condensed again. But this time, he had lost his eyes in his eye sockets. Arg! Dragon King of Dragon Palace, you killed me twice. I'll curse you with my life. I'll exchange my life for yours. Both of us will fall into the cycle of reincarnation and be buried in the stars. Curse of twin, if I die, you die. The moment the Black Tower Magus appeared, his maniacal voice was heard. The art of curse. The Black Tower Magus was more proficient in the art of curse. The Dragon King had killed 2 of his lives and was tainted with karma. He could carry out the curse. However, the Taishui Demon King and the old scholar were shocked to see this. They were shocked by Wang Xian's strength. Similarly, they were shocked by the art of curse of the Black Tower Magus. Chapter 36:13. Why is the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King so terrifying? This, seeing that the Dragon King had killed the Black Tower wizards as easily as killing dogs, Demon Monarch High Water gaped in disbelief. The Black Tower Sorcerer used his strongest curse. It is said that the Black Tower Sorcerer has many life-saving treasures. He can resurrect after death and curse the person who killed him. This time, the Black Tower Sorcerer used his life to curse the Dragon King. Is it because the Dragon King is giving him too much pressure? When the old scholar saw this scene, he suddenly felt nervous. This Dragon King was too terrifying. Even the Black Tower mages had no power to resist. Slaughtered at will. This made them extremely nervous. The Black Tower Sorcerer was beaten in such a manner without the slightest resistance. Now, he had even used such a terrifying curse technique. If the Dragon King did not die, the consequences would be unimaginable. The old scholar and Tai Shui Yao King stared at him in panic. As for the Sacred Dragon King and the 70-plus Third-Order Sovereigns, they were completely dumbfounded. Wang Xian flew towards the third life of the sorcerer in the Black Tower. The number of life-saving treasures this guy had exceeded his expectations. And this curse of his actually came at the cost of sacrificing himself. This caused his eyes to flicker slightly. Buzz! At this moment, the Tai Chi dragon plate seemed to have sensed a surge of energy invading Wang Xian's body and started to operate automatically. As Wang Xian watched, he revealed a faint smile. This made him think of one of the abilities of the Tai Chi dragon board. Yin-Yang space. Being in the Yin-Yang space, Wang Xian felt like he was in another space and could ignore the curse. Not only could it ignore curses, but it could also block terrifying attacks. Kaka, kaka! When the yin-yang space opened, it was followed by the sound of something cracking. This surprised Wang Xian a little. The curse of the Black Tower sorcerer was a little terrifying. The Tai Chi dragon plate almost failed to block it. Fortunately, the curse didn't last too long, and the yin-yang space stabilized again. No, 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 this is impossible! At the front, when the Black Tower sorcerer saw Wang Xian standing there unscathed, he roared in disbelief. As soon as he finished speaking, his life force seemed to be sucked out of his body. He died again. Wang Xian sensed another surge of energy appearing on his right. This time, it was very close to him. Try, Mad One, Gad 2, he immediately rushed over, and before his body was completely formed, he directly grabbed his neck, and his body was surrounded by the Tai Chi dragon coil. You have quite a lot of dog lives. I want to see how many lives you have left. As he spoke, a surge of energy rushed into the Black Tower Magus body. This time, he didn't even have time to speak before he was easily killed by Wang Xian. More? With the peerless sacred wings, he sensed that the Black Tower's Magus had revived once more. Crash! The unparalleled sacred wings flapped, and with a terrifying speed, he flew towards the other resurrection spot of the Black Tower Magus. No, 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 don't kill me! The Black Tower Magus roared in despair. Bam! However, what welcomed him was a punch from Wang Xian. A punch that killed him! This Black Tower Magus had already lost his will to fight. After a few consecutive deaths, and his strongest attack, the killing curse, was fended off by Wang Xian, he was in despair. After the fifth death, Wang Xian sensed that the Black Tower sorcerer was completely dead, leaving behind 5 corpses. The energy contained in each of these corpses was more horrifying than the corpses of ordinary Third-Order Universe sovereigns. In other words, killing 1 was equivalent to killing 5. Not bad, Wang Xian was satisfied. Cough, 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 cough. When the Black Tower Magus was completely killed by Wang Xian, the hideous-looking old scholar let out a horrifying scream. He looked on in horror, as though he had encountered a great horror. The Black Tower Magus had 5 lives. So many lives had shocked them. But each of their lives was instantly killed by the Dragon King. This was too horrifying. Was he an expert on the same level as them? Even those crazy old monsters in the invincible domain couldn't be this strong, right? Too horrifying, too horrifying. Alright, it's your turn. High Water Demon King, didn't you say you wanted to challenge me? You want to kill me? After Wang Xian dealt with the Black Tower Magus, his eyes fell on High Water Demon King. This guy was arrogant, extremely arrogant. Wang Xian didn't like him. Dragon King, kill him and give him to your little brother, the Water Tentacle. I'll devour him and recover. At this time, the High Water Tentacle King bellowed from behind. All right. Upon hearing that, Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Try, Mad One, Gad 2, catch X, devour him and the High Water Tentacle King will recover? Not bad. In this case, the Dragon Palace would have another First Order Universe Sovereign expert. Great! Devour me? Seeing the Dragon King targeting him and hearing the words of the High Water Tentacle King, High Water Demon King trembled violently. He was going to be treated as food. However, looking at the horrifying Dragon King, he was a little fearful. Swish! Seeing his master targeting him, Bei Shuang moved and came to Ling Honggu's side. He fixed his eyes on the old scholar. Today, none of you can leave. The second one to kill will be you, High Water Demon King, Wang Xian said coldly. With a swift move, he launched an attack on Tai Shui Demon King. His speed was as terrifying as ever. This Dragon King's defense is terrifying. Can I break through his defense? It's not just defense. Attacking him seems to bring about a strange backlash. High Water Demon King was no longer as arrogant as before. His forehead was filled with cold sweat. He was not crazy. He had seen the terror of the Dragon King just now. However, they were not far from each other. Now that the space was sealed, even he would have to give it his all to break through the sealed space. However, he was already dead the moment he broke through the space. I don't believe your defense is invincible, he roared with a hideous expression. His huge body and the inborn cardinal treasure gloves on his arms smashed towards Wang Xian. There was no other way. He could only fight. High Water Demon King did not hesitate. Boom! Wang Xian flew over and did not resist at all. He just crashed into it directly. Break the array and run! At this time, the benevolent-looking old scholar saw this and shouted without hesitation. The Lady in Red and the Frost Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace were attacking him. The old scholar knew he was no match for them. Not to mention, there was still the horrifying Dragon King. At this time, it was time to escape. Escape? Escape? Sacred Dragon King, the leader of the shepherd gods, and the leader of the Giant of Light were dumbfounded. They swallowed their saliva. Escape! This Dragon King is too horrifying! The roar came from the head of the Black Fog Spirit Clan. Chapter 36:14 Run! Run quickly! This Dragon King was a demon. He was not an existence to be trifled with. They could not understand why they would encounter such a terrifying enemy. Could it be that he had inherited the glory of the entire divine dragon tribe? Run? Do you think you can escape? Prime Minister Turtle wanted to escape when he saw them. His face turned cold. Ha ha ha, 6 major tribes, let's see where you can escape to this time. Roving Heavens and the rest laughed maniacally. Terrifying auras erupted from their bodies. Do you think you can escape? This time, all of you will die here. The group of experts from Dragon Palace roared with murderous intent. Do you think our Dragon Palace is a place where you can come and go as you please? You're underestimating the Dragon Palace. Roar! All the members of Dragon Palace roared furiously. Surges of aura soared into the sky. This, what's going on? Experts from Dragon Palace. Why are there so many experts from Dragon Palace? When all the experts from Dragon Palace released their auras, Sacred Dragon King, Shepherd God's tribe leader, and the rest of the 71 experts were stunned once again. The aura of a third-order universe lord was obvious. From the experts from Dragon Palace, they felt more than 100 of such terrifying auras. What did this mean? This meant that Dragon Palace had more than 100 third-order universe lord experts. Oh my God! Was there a need for them to live? How is this possible? Why are there so many experts in Dragon Palace? Why? How can this be? I don't believe it! The experts from the 6 major tribes were stunned. He was completely dumbfounded. Ha ha ha, that sorcerer is dead. Our Dragon Palace's array formation has been restored. At this time, a dragon sorcerer roared excitedly. Because of the existence of the Black Tower sorcerer, their array formation had lost its effect. After the death of the Black Tower sorcerer, the array formation was restored. No, no, no! Sacred Dragon King and the rest blacked out when they heard this. The Black Tower sorcerer once said that the array formation of Dragon Palace was their trump card. After the array formation was activated, even an expert like Tai Shui Demon King had to be careful. Had the formation been restored? Ha ha ha, we, the Firehammer clan, can finally use the equipment to guard the Dragon Palace. At this moment, the Dragon Palace's Firehammer dragon leader and the others laughed maniacally. Terrifying cannon holes appeared out of thin air around the Dragon Palace. Especially the 18 cannons in the center. Each of the cannons gave them a terrifying feeling. Around the 18 cannon holes, there were all kinds of complicated patterns, and the aura on them was terrifying and strange. This was the demonic dragon cannon. the proud work of the Firehammer clan. A single cannon shot could threaten a third-order universe sovereign. It was suitable for defensive battles. Not good, not good. We have to break the barrier as soon as possible. We have to escape immediately, otherwise we are finished. An expert from the Giant of Light race said in panic. Boom! Ow! At this moment, a sudden scream came from the side. When they heard the scream, their bodies trembled violently, and they looked to the side. They saw the flesh and blood of High Water Demon King's arms splatter, and his body fly backward. As for the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, he continued his assault on High Water Demon King. Just like the Black Tower sorcerer, he killed the experts from the invincible domain like killing dogs. Swoosh! Wang Xian flapped the unbeginning saint wings and flew over when he saw the severely injured High Water Demon King. His arms turned into dragon claws. The light divine dragon was attached to the Tai Chi dragon plate as it charged towards Tai Shui Demon King. Arg! High Water Demon King roared as the flesh and blood on his chest bulged, forming a flesh defense. Bam! The attack landed on his flesh defense, and his flesh split open. But High Water Demon King withstood this attack. I withstood it! High Water Demon King was pleasantly surprised. He could withstand the attack of the Dragon King even if he was injured. But before he could rejoice, Wang Xian landed a barrage of punches. The radiant divine dragon plate continued to bite and attack his defense. The most terrifying thing about the Tai Chi dragon plate was its defense and counterattack. As long as the attack power of the Tai Chi dragon plate could not break through, it was best not to attack Wang Xian. Otherwise, all attacks would backfire on him. Since he could not break through Wang Xian's defense, his own defense was the best choice. But it was a pity that Wang Xian, who had the support of the Tai Chi dragon plate, had the attack power of a first-order universe lord. Therefore, under Wang Xian's relentless attacks, High Water Demon King could not hold on for long. It was especially so when it came to close combat. He would not be able to withstand it even if he had 10 lives. Bam! With a heavy blow, the dragon claws entered High Water Demon King's body. Waves of energy were melting away his vitality. Hee, you dare to challenge me with such strength? Silly dog! Wang Xian lifted his head and spoke calmly to High Water Demon King. Silly dog, here to die. High Water Demon King stared at Wang Xian with his huge eyes as his aura gradually disappeared. I'm invincible below the Universe Lord realm, Wang Xian added emotionlessly. High Water Demon King opened his mouth and his eyes were bloodshot. There's no invincible enemy in this world. Explode! As he finished his sentence, terrifying energy began to brew in his body. Huh! Too late! Wang Xian could sense the Tai Chi dragon plate and the darkness divine dragon entering his body. A dead body. Quickly descending to the ground. Mine! Mine! They're all mine! Looking at High Water Demon King's dead body, the Water Tentacle King roared excitedly and flew over quickly. The dead body was hers. It's over. It's over. Sacred Dragon King and the rest of the experts who saw High Water Demon King being killed had the same thought in their minds. It's over. High Water Demon King was killed in a matter of seconds. Oh no! Seeing this, the old scholar's expression changed drastically and his face turned pale. 111! At this time, the array formation of the Dragon Palace began to operate. Terrifying dragon pillars appeared in the surroundings. At the same time, the surrounding sky changed as 9-colored energy shrouded the area. Another array formation appeared under the inborn cardinal treasure, Flight Restriction. This was the Flight Restriction sealing array that belonged to the Dragon Palace. Another seal appeared in this area of space. How could they escape now? Didn't the experts from the Invincible Domain boast about taking the head of the Dragon Palace? Why aren't they taking it? Are they all useless? Sacred Dragon King couldn't help but roar when he saw this. Are the experts from the Invincible Domain all useless? Aren't they all very confident and arrogant? Didn't they say they would easily take the head of the Dragon King? What's wrong now? All of you only know how to brag. Now you've even put yourselves in danger. At this moment, they were filled with hatred for the third prince of the angel clan. Why did he look for a bunch of useless people like them? Chapter 36:15. Did they call you the old scholar? Now it's your turn. Are you ready to die? Wang Xian looked at the old scholar and asked emotionlessly after killing Tai Shui Demon King. In fact, Wang Xian could sense that Tai Shui Demon King had escaped with the help of a life-saving treasure. However, his resurrection was different from the Black Towers. He returned to his own holy kingdom directly. He looked at the last expert from the invincible domain with a hint of mockery and ridicule. Wang Xian was going to kill these three arrogant fellows today. Too arrogant. The old scholar's body trembled as he stared deadly at Wang Xian. At this moment, it would be difficult for him to escape. Honggu Beishuang, leave him to me. You guys go and kill the experts from the Divine Dragon bloodline and the other 6 major races, Wang Xian said to Honggu Beishuang and the rest. He flapped his unbeginning saint wings and flew towards the old scholar. Come on, one-on-one! He smiled and gestured to the old scholar. One-on-one! The old scholar looked down and saw an expert from the Dragon Palace devouring Tai Shui Demon King's body rapidly. His body trembled violently. The Black Tower's sorcerer and Tai Shui Demon King had been eliminated so quickly. How could he fight the Dragon King? Fight, fight, fight! If I can break through, I might have a chance of survival. If not, I'll die here today. The old scholar was determined to die. Kill! Kill! The malevolent-looking old scholar roared and charged towards Wang Xian. Naturally, he could tell that Wang Xian had a horrifying defense and the ability to counterattack. However, what else could he do if he didn't attack? Could it be that they were on the defensive? Was it possible to rely on defense to make the final breakthrough? Therefore, he could only attack and try to break through with the last bit of hope in his heart. This was his last hope. If he couldn't break through, he would definitely die. Most importantly, he didn't have any life-saving treasure. He only had one life. The malevolent-looking old scholar charged over. Using his body as the word, massacre, he charged towards Wang Xian. However, Wang Xian didn't put up any resistance and continued to defend with the Tai Chi Dragon Plate. Bam! The ferocious-looking old scholar rushed over and crashed into the Taiji Dragon Plate. However, the golden kill character started to break. The ferocious-looking old scholar died. The amiable-looking old scholar spat out a mouthful of blood. He knew that he was done for. Because the Dragon King did not retaliate at all, allowing him to attack freely. In the end, the backlash was enough to severely injure him. Under such circumstances, how could he use battle to break through? This was like smashing his head against the ground and killing himself. Could he break through using this method? It was obviously impossible. I don't understand how you can be so strong. Even the old monsters in the invincible realm are stronger than you. The benevolent-looking old scholar felt a little hopeless as he stared at Wang Xian and asked, You guys are very strong, but to put it bluntly, you're all trash. You can't even break through. Shouldn't I be stronger than you? Wang Xian looked at him and said calmly. His words caused the old scholar's expression to turn abnormally ugly. Shouldn't he? Should I? They had gone through the tempering of time, thinking of all sorts of ways to improve their combat strength. You're just a Dragon King of the same level. You're obviously not an old monster. What right do you have to compete with us? However, there seemed to be nothing wrong with what the Dragon King had said. You can die now, Wang Xian said to the old scholar. He flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and charged forward. The old scholar's expression changed drastically. He also charged forward and attacked Wang Xian. However, he couldn't break through Wang Xian's defense. The backlash had severely injured him. Wang Xian killed him easily. Kill. At the side, the Sacred Dragon King and the rest of the 71 experts did not attack. This was because the Dragon Palace had over 100 Third Order Universe sovereigns. They had powerful arrays and terrifying equipment. Coupled with the Frost Divine Dragon and the Lady in Red, they were no match for them. Therefore, they did not attack. However, even if they did not attack, the Dragon Palace would. After Long Gongxing was killed, they immediately launched their attack. "It's your turn," Wang Xian said with a smile. He flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and charged towards the sacred Dragon King and the rest. Bei Shuang and Ling Honggu also charged over. "Kill, kill, kill! Sacred Dragon Bloodline! These bastards want to destroy our Dragon Palace. Leave no one alive! Kill them! Ha!" The experts of the Dragon Palace roared with excitement. At this moment, the sacred Dragon King and the rest felt a little hopeless. What could they use to resist? The Dragon Palace was too terrifying. They were no match for them at all. They couldn't even escape if they wanted to. "Kill, kill, kill! Kill as many as you can! Let's kill!" The sacred Dragon King's body trembled as he roared with bloodshot eyes. As he roared, several of his subordinates charged over. "We're all going to die anyway. Kill!" The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared and charged over. The experts from the other 4 races could only charge over. However, their auras were much weaker than the members of the Dragon Palace. This was a battle to the death. They knew they wouldn't win. The Dragon Palace was too terrifying. They had lost all will to fight. In addition to Wang Xian's frenzied killing, the lives of 71 experts from the 6 major races were being harvested rapidly. The Dragon Palace will gain a lot of resources this time. This is a huge harvest. The innate spiritual treasures and other treasures we obtained this time should be enough for the Dragon King to break through. The experts from the Invincible Domain are really good people. So are the 6 major races. In front of the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the relatively weaker disciples of the Dragon Palace looked up at the battle in the sky. Their faces were filled with eagerness and helplessness. But without exception, they were all very excited. It was especially so for Prime Minister Turtle and the ministers of the Dragon Palace. They were already calculating how much they could gain this time. Wang Xian killed rapidly. The experts from the 6 major races had lost their will to fight. It was a piece of cake for him to kill. He could kill 4 to 5 in a second. Together with the other members of the Dragon Palace, it was a piece of cake. The array formations of the Dragon Palace were no longer needed. What's the situation inside now? I wanted to watch the battle between the top experts, but I can't see anything now. At this moment, around the Eternal River, there were about 200 experts from the Invincible Domain. They looked at the innate spiritual treasures shrouding the Dragon Palace and felt a little helpless. They couldn't see the battle between the top experts. Within the chaotic land, some experts and disciples who came to watch the battle were even more shocked when they saw the Dragon Palace shrouded by the innate spiritual treasures. Chapter 36:16. The Taishui Demon King is suppressing the Frost Divine Dragon. If the battle continues, the Taishui Demon King's experience will allow him to slay the Frost Divine Dragon. The old scholar is obviously confident that he can kill the woman in red, not to mention the sorcerer from the Black Tower. That's why I'm sure that the Dragon Palace will be destroyed soon. It should be. To be able to invite Taishui Demon King, the Black Tower sorcerer, and the old scholar at the same time, they must have paid a great price. TSK, did the Angel Clan intervene? The experts of Dragon Palace are indeed strong. It's a pity that they met the Black Tower sorcerer and the old scholar, the top experts of our Invincible Domain. Indeed. The top experts of our Invincible Domain can easily defeat more than 10 experts of the same level. The primordial treasure shrouded the Dragon Palace, making it impossible to see what was going on inside. The experts of the Invincible Domain spoke out of boredom, their voices echoing in the sky above the heaven eternal river. When they spoke, there was a hint of arrogance. Arrogance towards the strength of the experts of the Invincible Domain. Of course, this arrogance came from their strong confidence. Is it really as they say? Is the Dragon Palace really going to be destroyed? It should be. Did you guys feel it? The experts of the invincible domain are very scary. We must not provoke them. Experts of their level can't be wrong. One should know that among them, there are experts from the top clans such as Angel, Devil, Nether, Divine Tiger, and Black Tortoise. The Dragon Palace is finished. This is the will of the Angel clan. After all, the Angel clan is too scary. Even if they don't go out, they have thousands of ways to destroy the Dragon Palace. When some of the disciples heard the invincible domain's experts discussing amongst themselves, they also whispered to each other. They were all in awe of the invincible domain and the experts of the invincible domain. Some of the experts' disciples took out the universe AI and sent the situation over immediately. Some experts directly edited the message. Dragon Palace is now sealed by the 3 terrifying existences of the invincible domain. Although we can't see the situation inside, there are experts of the invincible domain around. Many experts from the top clans say that the Dragon Palace is going to be destroyed. The 3 experts of Tai Shui Demon King are very scary. After editing the message, he directly sent it out. At this moment, the universe's AI was boiling. An old monster like Tai Shui Demon King who had come from ancient times to challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had already attracted the attention of countless experts and disciples. However, when Tai Shui Demon King arrived, he wasn't the only one. There were 2 terrifying existences from the invincible domain, as well as over 70 third-order sovereigns from the 6 major races. The AI was shocked. They knew that this was no ordinary challenge. They were here to destroy the Dragon Palace. This attracted the attention of all the disciples on the Universe AI. Countless people were discussing. Would the Dragon Palace be destroyed by the experts of the invincible domain? Wouldn't the Dragon Palace be destroyed? There were all sorts of discussions. But when the latest news was passed on, everyone was even more shocked. Is Dragon Palace really going to be destroyed? Did the experts of the invincible domain really say that? It seems that the Dragon Palace is doomed. The dark horse of the Dragon Palace's counterattack will eventually come to an end. After all, the Angel clan is responsible for the destruction of the Dragon Palace. On the Universe AI, a few experts and disciples from the various powers couldn't help but feel pity for Dragon Palace. The last hope of the Divine Dragon clan, the strongest force of the Divine Dragon clan, was finally going to be destroyed. Many experts and disciples discussed. At the same time, they felt the terror of the invincible domain. Dragon Palace's strength was only this terrifying. Dragon King's strength was only this strong. Mutant purebred Divine Dragon, Dragon King of Dragon Palace, still wasn't a match for the old monsters of the invincible domain. One could imagine how terrifying the invincible domain was. It was indeed worthy of the name of the invincible domain. Just as the experts and disciples of the various races were discussing on the Universe AI, above the Heaven Eternal River, the experts of the invincible domain were still chatting. Just as those experts and disciples were waiting for the news, waiting for Dragon Palace to be completely destroyed. Below, the energy that enveloped the Dragon Palace slowly began to dissipate. The dissipation of the energy enveloping the Dragon Palace instantly attracted the attention of the surrounding old monsters of the invincible domain. They looked over in shock. 10 minutes. In just 10 minutes, Black Tower's Tai Shui Demon King and Old Scholar have already destroyed the Dragon Palace? An old monster of the Divine Tiger clan said doubtfully. That's about it. Old Scholar said to destroy the woman in red from the Dragon Palace in 5 minutes. After that, it'll be simple. Beside him, his companion nodded. However, he didn't finish his words. His eyes widened and he stared at the scene below in disbelief. What did he see? The Dragon Palace was intact, and the disciples of the Dragon Palace were standing there calmly. These are the top experts of the invincible domain? In my opinion, they're trash. Too trash. Haha, that's right. They even acted tough in front of our Dragon King and said that they would take the head of our Dragon King. Just those 3 trash? They're indeed trash. Our Dragon King kills trash with one move. Everyone says that the experts of the invincible domain are powerful. In my opinion, they're just trash. Haha, it's mainly because our Dragon King is too powerful. However, the invincible domain is indeed worthy of its name. These top experts can be easily killed by our Dragon King. Invincible domain? Hee hee. I think our Dragon Palace should change its name to Invincible Dragon Palace. Haha, that's possible. The 6 major races still dared to attack us. Now, hee hee, clean up the corpses and bring them to the Dragon Palace. Below the Universe Lord realm, our Dragon King is invincible. The rest are trash. 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 At this time, a leisurely voice filled with mockery and disdain could be heard. All the old monsters of the invincible domain widened their eyes as they looked at the few figures in the Dragon Palace. Their bodies trembled violently. What was going on? High Water Demon King was dead? Black Tower Sorcerer was dead? Old Scholar was dead? 3 of their top experts from the invincible domain died just like that. Cough cough, how is this possible? How is this possible? It's only been 10 minutes and they're all dead. High Water Demon King, Black Tower Sorcerer and Old Scholar are the top experts of the invincible domain. An old monster from the Angel Clan widened his eyes as he roared in disbelief. 10 minutes, 71 First Order Universe Lords and 3 old monsters of the invincible domain. How strong is the Dragon Palace? How strong is the Dragon King? An old monster from the Divine Tiger Clan, a Peak Clan, opened his mouth and said in shock, "Is there really invincible enemies in this world?" An old monster from the Sage Bloodline murmured. Everyone was shocked. Invincible below the Universe Lord realm? Really? Chapter 36:17. Is there really an invincible enemy in this world? The words of an old monster from the invincible realm caused all the experts of the invincible realm to tremble. Was there really an invincible enemy in this world? In the invincible domain, Tai Shui Demon King, the Old Scholar, and the Black Tower Sorcerer were definitely the strongest group of people. There were people stronger than them in the invincible domain, but most of them had lost their minds. They were like wild beasts, difficult to communicate with. They were called crazy demons. But even those crazy demons couldn't kill Tai Shui Demon King, the Black Tower Sorcerer, and the Old Scholar at the same time. Even if the Black Tower Sorcerer and the Black Tower Sorcerer weren't killed by the Dragon King alone. But it definitely had something to do with the Dragon King. Tai Shui Demon King and the Frost Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace. They saw the battle between the Old Scholar and the red-robed woman from the Dragon Palace. The 2 experts from the Dragon Palace weren't as strong as Tai Shui Demon King and the Old Scholar. Then, after the primordial spirit treasure sealed the Dragon Palace, the 3 of them disappeared within 10 minutes. From what the Dragon Palace experts said, they were all killed. Similarly, along with the 3 experts from the invincible domain, there were 71 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. How strong was the Dragon Palace to be able to kill them all at the same time? How strong was the Dragon King? Was it really, as they said, invincible under the Universe Sovereigns? The experts from the invincible domain were shocked. That Dragon King's strength is definitely terrifying. A dozen elves from the Sidhi clan stared at the Dragon Palace with widened eyes, their faces filled with shock. The Black Tower Sorcerer had already broken the Dragon Palace's array, but the Dragon Palace was still able to kill them even after losing such a powerful trump card. The Dragon King must be the main reason for this. Definitely very terrifying. That Frost Divine Dragon called the Dragon King Master, then the Dragon King's strength must be very terrifying. And I'm guessing that the Dragon King is a variant Divine Dragon. An elf's eyes flashed as he spoke. There's an 80% chance of that happening. Let's go back and ask the elders in our clan. They should know that if he's also a mutated Divine Dragon, and he has our elf clan's companion elf, he might really be able to defeat the Black Tower's mages easily. The other elves nodded their heads in agreement. Compared to the experts of the invincible domain, the experts and disciples of the forces of the inner continents were even more shocked. Although they didn't know how strong Demon King Taishui and the others were, they knew how powerful the sacred dragon bloodline, the shepherd tribe, the ghoul tribe, the light insect tribe, the light giant tribe, and the black fog tribe were. This time, there were a total of 71 third-order sovereigns who had come with them. That was a third-order sovereign realm expert. But now, there was no aura at all. Obviously, they had been annihilated by the Dragon Palace. In just 10 minutes, 71 third-order sovereigns and 3 old monsters from the invincible domain were annihilated by the Dragon Palace. The strength of Dragon Palace was invincible. This strength. Is it invincible under the peak races? More or less. I think the Dragon Palace is almost invincible among the top races. I think even the technological world is not as strong as the Dragon Palace, right? It's too terrifying. We thought that the Dragon Palace would be destroyed just now. In the end, the 3 old monsters of the invincible domain and all the experts were killed. How strong is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? The experts and disciples of the various races discussed in shock. At the same time, in the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian was counting the spoils of war. There were a total of 6 innate cardinal treasures. 1 from Demon King Taishui, 1 from the Black Tower, 1 from the Giant Tribe of Light, 1 from the Black Fog Tribe, 1 from the Ghoul Tribe, and 1 from the Shepherd Tribe. There was 1 water attribute, 3 darkness attribute, 1 light attribute, and 1 metal attribute. 6 innate cardinal treasures, and over 400 innate spiritual treasures. Speaking of which, the number of innate spiritual treasures this time could not be compared to the previous harvest. The previous harvest was over 2,000 innate spiritual treasures. But the value this time was much higher than the previous harvest. Innate cardinal treasures. 1,000 innate spiritual treasures for 1 innate cardinal treasure might not even be worth it. Other than these treasures, there were also the corpses. These corpses could allow the Dragon Palace to produce over 80 third-order sovereigns. Just the Black Tower sorcerers alone could allow the Dragon Palace to produce 5 to 6 third-order sovereigns. The accumulation of these 3 old monsters of the invincible domain was too strong. Although the harvest this time is huge, it's not enough for me and the 5 elements grindstone to make a breakthrough. We need to exchange these primordial cardinal treasures for resources. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at his harvest this time. The rewards were bountiful, but he couldn't use them. For example, the resources that Wang Xian needed to upgrade himself and the 5 elemental innate spiritual treasures that the 5 elements grindstone needed to upgrade. There was a metal attribute connate cardinal treasure, but the grindstone couldn't absorb it at the moment. Turtle Prime Minister, send out an announcement on the universe's AI system. Our Dragon Palace will be holding an auction where we will auction all kinds of connate spirit treasures of light, metal, and darkness attributes, as well as connate spirit treasures of light and darkness attributes. Wang Xian pondered for a moment before ordering Prime Minister Turtle. There were many treasures in the Dragon Palace, and many of them were unusable. The Dragon Palace also had the Light Divine Dragon. The primordial treasures were also very useful to Roving Demon and the others. But for now, it was more important for Wang Xian to improve his strength. He wanted to auction some treasures so that the 5 elements grindstone and his strength could break through. As long as the 5 elements grindstone and his strength broke through, he would be even more terrifying. At that time, he would be able to kill someone at the level of Demon King Taishui in an instant. He wouldn't be able to resist at all. Archangel Gabriel could also be killed by Wang Xian in an instant. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded immediately. He made a move and flew out of the Dragon Palace immediately. Many experts from the invincible domain had yet to leave the sky and surroundings of the Heaven Everlasting River. 2 years later, our Dragon Palace will be holding an auction. At that time, there will be 4 to 5 innate cardinal treasures for sale. They are mainly of the light, darkness, and metal attributes. Experts from the invincible domain are welcome. experts from the invincible domain were one of the best customers for auctioning innate cardinal treasures. In addition, many old monsters in the invincible domain came from the pinnacle races. In that case, this news could also be spread to the pinnacle races. Ordinary high-level races couldn't afford innate cardinal treasures. Only an existence like the shepherd god tribe could barely afford to pay the price. However, there weren't many powerful races like the shepherd tribe. Therefore, the pinnacle races were the main customers. Chapter 36:18. Ha! Around the eternal river of heaven, the experts from the invincible domain were still discussing when Prime Minister Turtle's words shocked them all. The Dragon Palace was holding an auction. 4 or 5 primordial cardinal treasures? This caused them to reveal expressions of shock on their faces. This Dragon Palace is auctioning primordial cardinal treasures. Even we can't get our hands on them. Not just us, even the real universe rulers can't get their hands on them. Among the Tai Shui Demon King, the Old Scholar, and the Black Tower Sorcerer, only 2 of them have primordial cardinal treasures. Primordial cardinal treasures are hard to come by. Such treasures can definitely trigger a life-and-death battle between the universe rulers. The Dragon Palace is selling 4 or 5 of them. How terrifying! Indeed. After all, these are primordial cardinal treasures. This Dragon Palace is too rich. Including the 6 races today, I heard that they have annihilated 7 or 8 top advanced races. It's terrifying. The experts from the invincible domain were shocked when they heard Prime Minister Turtle's words. Primordial cardinal treasures were treasures that even the real universe rulers might not have. Although the Celestial Shepherd clan and the Giant of Light clan each had their own primordial cardinal treasures. But these were the treasures of their clans, the treasures passed down through generations. These were the treasures accumulated by their clans over 20 billion years. Only one primordial cardinal treasure had been around for such a long time. One could imagine how precious it was. Among the old monsters in the invincible domain, it was hard to find one primordial cardinal treasure out of 100. In fact, there might not be more than 10 primordial cardinal treasures in the entire invincible domain. And this time, the Dragon Palace was going to auction 4 or 5 of them. Incomparably terrifying. After Prime Minister Turtle spoke to the crowd, he immediately took out the Universe AI and made a statement in the name of the Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace. In 2 years, the Dragon Palace will be holding an auction in the eternal river of heaven. There will be light, dark, and metal primordial cardinal treasures, as well as a large number of primordial spiritual treasures and other treasures. After making the statement, Prime Minister Turtle immediately went to allocate the resources. After making the statement, all that was left was to wait. The reputation of primordial cardinal treasures would definitely attract many experts and powerful forces. However, when the Dragon Palace made the announcement, many people on the AI were dumbfounded. What was going on? What was going on? Just now, the Universe AI said that the Dragon Palace was going to be destroyed. However, the Dragon Palace suddenly announced that they would be holding an auction. Furthermore, he was going to sell connate cardinal treasures. What was going on? Shouldn't the Dragon Palace be under attack by the 3 old monsters of the invincible domain, surrounded by the Holy Dragon King and more than 70 experts? A disciple of an expert in the Tianheng River said that the Dragon Palace was going to be destroyed. The result was like this? At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded, and their faces were filled with amazement. However, at this time, a piece of information quickly swept through the entire universe's AI. The Dragon Palace had killed Tai Shui Demon King and the other 3 old monsters of the invincible domain. Sacred Dragon King and over 70 Third Order sovereigns were all killed. When this news spread, everyone's faces were filled with shock. What? The Dragon Palace actually killed 3 old monsters from the invincible domain and 71 Third Order sovereigns from the Sacred Dragon bloodline? How is this possible? Didn't they say that Tai Shui Demon King and the other 2 old monsters of invincible domain aren't weaker than true universe dominators? How could they be killed by the Dragon Palace in such a short period of time? It can't be. What exactly happened at the Tianheng River? If the Dragon Palace didn't announce that they were going to hold an auction, I wouldn't dare to believe it. This Dragon Palace is simply heaven-defying. According to a disciple from the Eternal River of Heaven, the Dragon Palace annihilated the High Water Demon King and the others in 10 minutes. Even the weakest among them is a third-order universe sovereign. Experts of such a level can be considered an overlord outside of peak-level races. Among the higher races, how many of them have third-order sovereign realm experts? However, the Dragon Palace killed over 70 of them. Terrifying. Terrifying. All the experts and disciples of the various forces looked at the latest news in shock. A third-order universe sovereign was definitely an overlord-level existence in the great desolate continent. Even the powerful 100 Cities Alliance only had one third-order sovereign realm expert, the Alliance leader. A third-order sovereign realm expert would be a VIP no matter where he went. However, over 70 of such experts were killed by the Dragon Palace in 10 minutes. Especially when there were 3 old monsters from the invincible domain. The Dragon Palace's strength is unfathomable. Among the higher races, which is their match? Not even the technological world, right? The Dragon Palace is invincible below the peak races. Invincible below the peak races? I agree with this. The Dragon Palace's strength is too terrifying. You have no idea where their bottom line is. On the Universe AI, an expert commented. Invincible below the peak races? The experts from the invincible domain said that the Dragon King is invincible below the Universe Lord realm. At this time, another piece of news came from the AI. An old monster from the Sage bloodline muttered, "Is there really invincible enemies in this world?" They interpreted it to mean that the Dragon Palace is invincible below the Universe Lord realm. Many experts of the various races agreed with this statement. The 3 old monsters from the invincible domain are not the Dragon King's match. The Dragon King is invincible. I dare say that the Dragon Palace has an 80% chance of becoming a peak race. The Dragon King can lead the Divine Dragon bloodline back to the peak. On the AI, countless experts and disciples were discussing. The Dragon Palace's battle was in an uproar. No one dared to look down on the Dragon Palace. No one dared to look down on the Dragon Palace. And the Dragon Palace was called invincible below the peak races by more and more experts. However, the Dragon Palace destroyed the Divine Dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light, and the other peak experts of the 6 major races. This caused the disciples of the 6 major races to feel sorrow and fear. And despair. All the peak experts of their races were killed. How could they not feel despair? Despair at the Dragon Palace's strength. Light God Mountain, the old lair of the Divine Dragon bloodline, located at the foot of a divine mountain. There was an incomparably huge god nation here. This was the Divine Dragon King's god nation. In the center of the god nation, a light divine dragon egg slowly cracked open, and a little divine dragon came out. This little light divine dragon's eyes were filled with fear and anger. He was the Divine Dragon King. He had personally witnessed the terror of the Dragon King. Invincible. Chapter 36:19. How can that Dragon King be so terrifying? How can he be so invincible? Sacred Dragon King, who had just emerged from the dragon egg, was trembling violently. His eyes widened in shock. He had witnessed Wang Xian's invincibility with his own eyes. He had witnessed the deaths of Tai Shui Demon King, the Black Tower Sorcerer, and the Old Scholar. He had witnessed the terrifying strength of the Dragon King. To him, even Archangel Gabriel was no match for the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Facing this kind of enemy caused him to be terrified, and it made him feel terror and despair. With such strength, even if I break through to the Universe Lord realm, I'm no match for him, right? Sacred Dragon King murmured, his expression changing constantly. Yes, at this moment, he felt that even if he broke through to the Universe Lord realm, he would still be no match for the Dragon King. As the leader of the Sacred Dragon bloodline, He knew how strong a true universe lord was. He was sure that they were not as strong as the Dragon King. I have to inform the third prince about this. I hope the third prince has a solution. Sacred Dragon King quickly took out the Universe AI and sent the message over with a trembling hand. This time, the 6 major races had been completely defeated. All the top experts had been killed by the Dragon King. Even if the top experts had the same treasures as him to revive, it would take at least a few 100 million years to recover to their peak. It could be said that the 6 major races were completely finished. After the message was sent, Sacred Dragon King lay there quietly. He had lost all will to fight. 1. In less than 10 minutes, the third prince's figure appeared in Sacred Dragon King's Dragon Palace. He appeared in front of him. His brows were tightly knitted as he looked at the Holy Dragon King in front of him. There was an ugly expression on his face. Greetings, third prince. Sacred Dragon King sensed the third prince's arrival, and immediately greeted respectfully. Is that Dragon King really as strong as you say? The third prince stared at him and asked with an ugly expression. Third prince, I don't dare to hide anything. That Dragon King is too strong. He's definitely stronger than a true universe sovereign. The old scholar, the Black Tower sorcerer, and the High Water Demon King couldn't even take a single move from him. Third prince, our 6 races are finished. 71 Third Order sovereigns are all dead. Third prince, it's all because of our incompetence. That Dragon King is too terrifying. The Sacred Dragon King knelt there and spoke with a sorrowful expression. This time, their sacred dragon bloodline was completely finished. Even he himself would need a large amount of resources to recover. Who? The third prince stood there and took a deep breath. His eyes shone brightly. He was also very shocked by the strength of the Dragon King. The third prince was aware of the strength of the old scholar and the Black Tower Magi. They were existences that could absolutely fight against universe rulers. However, the Dragon King from the Dragon Palace killed him in an instant. That meant that the Dragon King's strength was comparable to a second-order universe sovereign. Is the Dragon King a universe ruler realm expert? He stared at the Holy Dragon King and asked expressionlessly. This was a very important point. If the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had the strength of a universe ruler realm expert, then everything would be simple. They could just send experts from the angel tribe to destroy him. No, that Dragon King does not have the aura of a universe ruler realm expert. He has a very terrifying defensive treasure on him. Neither the old scholar nor the Black Tower Magi could break through his defense. Even the Black Tower Magi's curse at the cost of his life could not break through the Dragon King's defense. As the Sacred Dragon King spoke, his eyes were filled with fear and dread. That Dragon King is almost invincible among those below the universe ruler realm. He could not help but add. In his heart, it was not almost invincible, but invincible. Invincible? The third prince raised his eyebrows slightly and stood there quietly. Third prince, what should we do? What should we do? The Sacred Dragon King could not help but ask. The third prince did not answer but just stood there quietly. Now, the third prince did not have any good ideas. It seems that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has inherited some of the mystical dragon tribe's destiny. There is a mutated frost mystical dragon in the Dragon Palace. That means that the Dragon King should also be a purebred mutated mystical dragon. As he spoke, a hint of jealousy flashed in his eyes. And his mutation is probably not a simple one. The Sacred Dragon King lay there, waiting respectfully for the third prince's orders. Hurry up and recover first. Don't worry about anything else. The third prince glanced at the Sacred Dragon King. As soon as he finished speaking, his figure disappeared. The Sacred Dragon King sensed the third prince's departure and raised his head in shock. The third prince did not give any further orders. What was going on? Could it be? A hint of surprise and shock flashed in his eyes. Could it be that the third prince could not do anything about the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? The Sacred Dragon King pondered. The possibility of that was very high. Qin Jiang! Before long, the third prince's figure appeared in a corner of the mystical dragon tribe's divine dragon island. Not far in front of him, the Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix stood there quietly. Failed? The Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix clearly already knew about this. She turned to look at him. I did not expect this dragon palace to be so troublesome. And that dragon king should not be a simple mutated purebred mystical dragon. He should be able to fight against 4 to 5 First-Order Universe Lords, or even more. The third prince said, his expression not looking too good. You can't do anything, and neither can I. When the Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix heard his words, her expression changed slightly. Before reaching the Universe Lord realm, he could already fight against 5 to 6 First-Order Universe Lords. What kind of concept was that? Even the special and powerful mutated Phoenix, the Blazing Phoenix, was only SOSO. And there were only a few Blazing Phoenixes in the entire Phoenix race. The Dragon King possessed such strength, and it was suspected that his talent and bloodline were comparable to their Blazing Phoenixes. Then we can only wait. With the strength that the Dragon King displayed, he should be able to break through to the Universe Lord realm soon. The third prince said, Wait. I wonder how long we have to wait. The Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix frowned and muttered, Is there anyone below the Universe Lord realm who can kill him? I saw the Universe AI say that the Dragon King is invincible. Invincible? The third prince's eyes revealed a look of disdain. He can't be invincible below the Universe Lord realm. Not to mention the mutated geniuses of the pinnacle races, there are space beasts who can kill the Dragon King. In the invincible domain, there are old lunatics who can fight and even kill the Dragon King. It's a pity, be it the space beasts, the mutated geniuses of the pinnacle races, or those old lunatics, they are not people we can summon. The Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix shook her head. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.